quickly before, if you get into the video, Eniba, who sponsor these videos, are really kind, and they've offered 5 of you guys to win a gift card for their site. You'll get €5 off a game, and of course, if you want to join that, click the Gleam link down. You can do a few things. It's free to enter and everything. That will be great, and that will really help support the channel as well. Once again, you can also just go on their site every Friday to Sunday. They host massive sales with up to 70%, and if you use my code Resonant, you can get an extra tiny bit of a discount there as well. So click the links in the description. You can get some great games for great deals, and you can win some stuff. Hello guys, and welcome back to another Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord video, and today we have some interesting and exciting news. For once, we've actually got some confirmation of some sort of closed beta, but first we're going to be talking about what the whole devlog was really about, and the Skirmish Mode, a brand new multiplayer mode for, of course, Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Now, of course, Mount & Blade and its multiplayer modes have been pretty simple in the past. You've had your team deathmatch, you've had your deathmatch, Napoleonic Wars brought in commander battles. Later on, invasion mode was added into Warband, so sort of full Invasion 2 inspired game mode. But they've not been really out there, and I wouldn't say skirmishes at all, but it's sort of catering and learning from what has been successful in Warband. Many people know that Mount & Blade Esports is actually pretty decent, and it's not as terrible as you might think. The Battle of Bucharest, I did whole coverage of that, and that was fun, and that was really exciting, and I feel like this game mode is very much based around esports. It's Skirmish Mode, which is a 6v6 player versus player game mode. Now, that means no bots, nothing whatsoever, just 6 guys on each team fighting it out. This will cause for some very smaller base combat, which means that skill and teamwork is way more important than just numbers. But it comes into, of course, equipment and how you use that, and what skills you have as a character as well, which we'll get onto now. Of course, balancing your characters and making sure that everyone is pretty much equal is quite important for multiplayer games. And unfortunately, Mount & Blade doesn't really lend itself to that playstyle. Where you play a game like Rainbow Six Siege or Apex Legends, where you have different heroes, different characters, different operators that you have to pick and choose from, they've all got to be pretty balanced. Yes, they've all got advantages and disadvantages in certain situations, but at the end of the day, there can't be one that everyone's going to want to pick because it's so much better than everyone else. I mean, that just would completely ruin gameplay. But Mount & Blade can't really lend itself to that because it is medieval, trying to be realistic, although set in a fantastical sort of world, but on the main part being realistic to medieval life. I mean, think about it. You've got knights, you've got footmen, you've got archers, but you've also got like peasants and bandits fighting on the same battlefields. They can't all be equal. That just would not make sense to the gameplay at all. So it's all about keeping realism and immersion. And I've got on my notes here, keep realism and immersion, so they don't want to nerf shit. It just seemed right at the time. But let's go back onto Skirmish Mode, because that's what we're talking about at the moment. It's a game mode, of course, but with limited spawns. Now, there is a point system to it, so when you actually spawn into the world, you can get a set amount of points, and everyone has the same amount of points. It's nice and equal that way. It's a bit like communism, but with less killing 20 million of your own people. That's just a quick side note. Go and watch my Tropico 6 video. But with these points, you can select a class for each spawn during a round. Of course, it works as you might expect. The more points that you use will cost a lot more, but you'll get better equipment and higher tier troops. But this does mean it limits the number of times that you can be selecting these troops as a single player each round. But then if you want to go a bit the other way, you can spend less money and you'll be able to select lower tier troops, which, yeah, they won't be as good, they won't have better armor, they might be a bit faster depending on how you use them, but it gives the players an option of an additional 1 or 2 spawns for that round if you use weaker troops. Now at the end of the round, it all piles together. If you have any unspent points, a limited amount of these can be carried over to the next round. Of course, if you hardly spend any points, it's not going to take like 75% of your points to the next round, because that will make the next round completely unbalanced, but a limited amount will be carried over, so you get a slight advantage depending on how you want to play. But this sort of opens up for more tactical play. Maybe a team wants to go all out on their first round, get the highest tier, and they'll be extremely powerful, but then a lower tier troop on the other team, what if it gets a quick stab in there? Then they've actually just spent so much less money but done so much more damage, because another team might go lower tier troops, have a few more spawns that round, and even have some points to save over, so the next round they can get even higher tier troops than the other team did the first round. So it's about how you play and how you want to do it with your team. But strategy and teamwork and communication seems paramount to this type of game mode. There'll be 3 capture points across the map, presumably 1 on each side and then 1 in the center that you'll have to fight over. And some people might not like capture points, but me preferably, I like capture points because it actually gives you an aim and not just killing them, and it makes for more strategy. It makes you play more strategically, depending on should you go and capture that point or should you hold back. Maybe you should go and flank around and get the enemy team's home point, or maybe you should try and defend the center wall. Now, the team that has fewer points captured loses morale, and if you lose all your morale, you will lose that round. So you have to sort of balance it. Do you just go for the kills, or do you go to actually capture the points as well? It's sort of that pushing pull system which will keep it interesting and lend to 2 different types to winning situations, giving more strategic looks into it. Now, that is pretty much it for the skirmish mode, but then they hinted at the end of this dev blog there'll be a new class system in Bannerlord, which I'm going to be talking about later. There'll be matchmaking, which is quite interesting how that's going to work. There'll be more additional game modes that they're going to be talking about soon on top of skirmish mode, which I'm very excited for. And then the final thing is an upcoming closed beta. Now, there's nothing on release date of the actual game or the closed beta, but at least we have something now. They did say they wanted a version of it into the players' hands in 2015. That never happened. 2016 never happened. 2017 and so on never happened. And then they did say that there'll probably be a beta soon. And we finally have confirmation that there will definitely be a closed beta now. Do not ask me how you get into this. Do not ask me when it is. I have no idea. I am reading the same developer blog as you. I'm just putting it into video form. But it is so exciting that finally we have some sort of confirmation for this. Oh. Finally, some people might be appeased by the Bannerlord gods. Now, I'm assuming the closed beta will completely be around multiplayer. I mean, it makes sense. Single player closed betas rarely happen. I mean, think of Battlefield sort of thing. Yeah, you do have the single player in the final game, but the multiplayer is where you have the closed beta, because it's really where you need a closed beta. If you think about it, that is where most of the testing will be done. They'll be able to test single player to pieces. They've had, what, 7-8 years now testing and grinding over the single player, working out each of the bugs and how to fix them, working out everything that could possibly go wrong. But they don't know multiplayer until it can get into the player's hands, and this is why betas are really good, because a lot of games can release a multiplayer, but because of the sheer amount of people playing it, they haven't experienced this and they haven't been able to fix the bugs, and some of these bugs can be game breaking. So if they release a closed beta, they can control the amount of people that play it, slowly maybe increase it, fix some bugs there, add more players in, see what happens, what goes wrong with the servers, what can go wrong with the game, fix it there, and slowly increase it until we have a perfect game. I mean, I think the single player is going to be almost perfect. I think it's going to be what everyone has hoped for. All these people being, let's call them Bannerlord deniers, now saying, oh, my grandchildren are going to love this game. That joke's been way overdone. Shut up now. Shut up. It's going to be a great game. And I know people are weird and don't think of it this way, but I'm saying that as just a Mount and Blade player. Like, I'm literally just a guy sitting behind a computer now and a microphone just speaking into it and putting it on the internet. I'm no different to anyone that actually just plays the game. Like, the reason I make Mount and Blade videos is because I played Mount and Blade before and I just wanted to talk about it. So I'm not saying this as someone that's getting paid by Tailworlds, because I don't even talk to Tailworlds. I think they probably might know who I am. I've spoken to Callum about a few things in the past, but we've never had any conversations about dev blogs or anything like that. Mount and Blade, I truly believe, will be an incredible game when it comes out. And the beta will hopefully give us some indication. Yes, it's most likely to be multiplayer. That is not confirmed, that's just my speculation from multiplayer from closed betas in the past. But other than that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. It would really help if you haven't already. Now, I'm really looking forward to Gamescom. There probably won't be anything at E3, but they might release something around the same time, just on, Tailworlds themselves. But it looks like we're really gearing up to something now. It looks like these next dev blogs are going to be something really substantial. So if you want to see them, make sure you leave a like on this video and stay subscribed. But thank you for watching, and until then, I will see you in the next one. Oh, for goodness sake, please stop asking me if I know any more than the dev blogs give out. I'm not this guy that knows anything more than what the dev blogs say. I don't talk to Tailworlds, they don't talk to me. Matthew, you bloody well know who you are. If you ask me again if I know when the closed beta is coming, I will unfriend you instead. I'm not that mad, but I don't know shit. Just saying, I just make videos.